Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Why is that so quiet? Oh, it's because my headphones are down. It's time for a weekly live stream with all the fun people. Nobody's here yet. I'm sure they'll all start arriving momentarily, as that does seem to be what happens. Let's see. Do I need that tab open? No, I don't need that open. We'll close a bunch of windows so I don't have so many things cluttering my screen. Come on, Safari. You can close. Ah, there everybody is. Good morning. Happy Monday morning. Welcome to your weekly kickoff live stream where we celebrate victories from the previous week. Talk about some things that have nothing, that have to do with weight loss. All right, Safari won't quit. All right, we're going to force quit it. Feels a bit like smothering it with a pillow. But anyway, all right, there we go. Good morning, everyone. Those that are just joining us, welcome. Glad to have you here. Make that smaller. Yeah, see what that's like. See if I put it over there. No, because if I read the chat, that looks more natural. Well, how did your week go? Don't tell me about your wins, though. We got to save your wins. I'm not ready for those yet. Just tell me how your week went. How was what happened in your world? And while you're doing that, I just realized I got to get my buttons set up because here in a little bit, we are going to celebrate wins. And the wins is some of the most fun parts of all this. Because then if we are really lucky, we'll do a big thing up front like that. But if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live here. Oh, wait, hold on. Does that play sound? Hold on, I'm going to do that one more time. I think that actually has a sound effect. I don't know why it doesn't play. But so far, so good, Cindy. Yeah. Morning. You need this? What do you need it for? You're adjusting to cold mornings. Yeah. Yeah, you got to have good gear for the cold mornings. That's for sure. You got to have the good gear. Had a very difficult and emotionally upsetting and draining week. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But it is a new week. I don't know if the new week's going to have more of the same or if it'll have the opportunity for different. But, the thing I've learned about the good weeks is they end. And the thing I've learned about the bad weeks is they end. Just sometimes in the middle of it. We got to just go on the ride, which sometimes stinks. But sometimes it's fun. Pretty decent week. Right here, this one, I was a missionary for my church and I was 19 and 20. And I remember walking down the street and I shout out to a guy, or the guy shouted out to me, "How you doing?" I said, "Can't complain." And he responded, "Wouldn't do you any good if you did." And I still think about that. It's been many years since he said that to me. So yeah, Joseph, I agree. Nah, complaining only does so good. Before then it's just bitching. Darren, eating great, loving life, and working on the house to get it ready to sell. Ooh, that's a big decision, selling a house. Warm bed is more tempting than getting out on my feet. So what helps me is I don't tell myself to get out of bed and go outside. I tell myself to get out of bed and go make coffee or something. Yeah, I found if I tell myself, I'm going to get up and go outside where it's cold, I won't do it. I have to give myself an intermediary step for sure. Feeling the cold more after losing weight. That is the truth. Oh, damn. Yeah, I get so cold now. It's the pits. So Jane, new week, new opportunities. That's right. I think you were saying that. I don't know if you were saying that to yourself or not. But the clean slate on Monday. Yeah, that's always a good thing. I mean, just start over fresh. Do it every day. Don't do clean slates on weeks. Do them every day. Then when you get real good, if you really want to take this to the next level, just have a clean slate every moment. Literally just let the past be the past. Hey. Hi, Chris. Hi, hey. I've been losing weight for 6 months. Got my movement and gun situated. What do you need a gun for? You shooting people? And situated with food. Wait, my movement and... God. I don't know what the gun word was supposed to be. if you could clarify for me. But food, I can't. I eat at 200 to 2,300 calories daily and not losing weight. I'm trying to get to 1,600, but I have no clue how. I need a little bit more information. You may be asking yourself to go too low. And you say not losing weight. Well, you said I eat at 2,000 to 2,300 calories a daily. Are you saying that's your goal, or are you saying that's what you actually do? Because here's the thing. If your goal is to eat 2,000 to 2,300 calories, but you're eating 2,800 calories, it doesn't really matter what your goal is. It matters what you're doing. So you're saying I eat at 2,000 to 2,300 calories and not losing weight, and you're trying to get to 1,600. But the other part of this isn't telling me if your movement's on par. Your movement might not be high enough, and you may be trying to solve this by lowering food. So to help me, tell me your age, height, and gender, and how many steps a day you're taking on average the last 7 days. I did discover that my last podcast cut out, so I'm going to record the last bullet. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. That's never happened before, where a partial upload went up, and it turns out it was the recording. So that's a bummer. So I will be recording the last one and sending out another bonus episode to capture the last point. So, let's see. I like this, but save your wins. Save your wins. We'll celebrate them in a minute. Day 2 of 5. I keep waiting for my leaves to blow away so I don't have to rake. Yeah. Oh, gym. You had the gym. Okay, so this is referring back to this comment up above with the gym. So the movement in gym settled. Okay. Yeah, but I need to know how many, I need to know more about your movement, because I just need more information to be able to tell where everything's at. So, all right, we are going to, I want to brew a cup of coffee because coffee is delicious. 1 second. Let me see. Is this the clip I'm going to do? It's on a weight loss journey. We'll roll with that clip. So I'm going to play a clip for you. I'm going to go get a brew going, and then I'll come back and we'll celebrate our wins. Hopefully this clip is long enough that I can get the coffee brewing in time. I believe it is. So let me turn on sound where I'll be able to hear it. All right. I will be back momentarily while I go brew coffee. Be back. Looking for shortcuts on a weight loss journey cost me so much time. I spent so much of my life looking for a quick way to lose weight. And you know what that ended up finding me? Right back where I started. Every time. You see, I would gain weight slowly over time. And one day I would have what I call an oh shit moment, where I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? I've let myself go. I've got to do something about this. And so I would look for a quick fix. What's something I could do now? What's just a handful of big changes I could make right now that will get me results fast? I was always seeking to melt the weight off me as quickly as I possibly could. I figured if I could melt it off fast, then I could, be no problem to gain my weight back, because I just found a way to lose weight quickly and easily. The challenge was the weight loss might have been fast, but it wasn't fast consistently. It was not unusual after maybe a month or two of good weight loss for it to slow. And of course I would get unmotivated. And of course, I was doing really unsustainable things that were miserable that I couldn't do for a long time. So I was really only willing to do these miserable things for as long as I was going to be getting results. And if the results were going to stop, well, then I was going to stop doing the miserable diet. I was going to stop cutting out carbs. I was going to stop eating nothing but shakes. Because these were all unsustainable, I didn't keep doing any of them. Because I was doing something that was so different from my regular life, when I couldn't keep this up anymore, I would just go back to the old way of doing things. And the old ways got me the old results, but I wanted new results. So if I was gonna do new results, I was gonna need to do new things. But if these new things were unsustainable, they kept just always falling apart, and I kept not doing them. I needed to find a new way of doing things that was sustainable, because then if it was sustainable, I'd keep doing it. And that was one of the earliest realizations and recognitions I had on my journey. Focus on sustainability. Whatever the new things are that I'm gonna do, it needs to be something I can do for the next 10 years. Whatever I'm gonna do, only lose weight in a way that I'm willing to do for the next 10 years. This way, I'm not building some temporary way of doing things and then just going back to the old ways. Instead, I'm building a new way of doing things, just letting the old things go away forever and letting them go away and never letting them come back. And just letting the new ways be the way I do things. I needed to change my actual life. I needed to learn how to eat out and lose weight. I needed to learn how to have birthday cake on my birthday and lose weight. I needed to learn how to have alcohol and not gain weight. I needed to learn how to do all the things that I love doing that involved food and not do it in a way that resulted in weight gain. And I needed to do that by learning how to lose weight while doing those things. So that's my advice to you. Only lose weight by doing things that you're willing to do for the next 10 years, with the exception of being in a calorie deficit. You do have to do that a little bit, but that's for another video. As I've been saying, have been switching to drip coffee, and I have found this in my store. I'm switching to Arabica coffee because that's what Waffle House uses. And I have been very, very, very pleased with this brand. Now, I'm sure there are better coffees you can get online, but I like buying from local stores so that when I run out, I can just go to the store and get what I want. So I like to try everything from my local stores first before I start buying online, in the off chance that I can find something. All right, so the coffee's brewing. We're going to chat for a little bit. Once the coffee's done brewing, I'm going to go get me a cup, and then we're going to do our wins. So I want you right now, don't waste it. Don't waste it. I want you to start getting your mind loaded up with your wins. What in the last 7 days have you done in the name of your goal? It does not have to be original, right? You could be like, what did you do in the last 7 days? I ate when I was hungry and I stopped when I was full. And I've been doing it that way for a year and a half. Great, that's a win. Not quitting is a win. Maintenance is a win. Going out and working out is a win. Saying no to an extra piece of food is a win. Getting good sleep all week is a win. There's no wins too big and there's no wins too little. And I want to celebrate them with you. Oh, some of y'all are, I'm seeing here in the chat, some of y'all have said that you've done this coffee and you like it. Oh, good. I've never tried this coffee before. This was new. But I've been this is founded in Sweden in 1853. So, but I am finding I'm liking the milder Arabica beans. I've been very happy with those. I see you like the Colombia. I don't know. Yeah. This has just been I don't know. I got an espresso machine. I got a Keurig, and I'm finding, it's funny, I just drift around to the different coffees I want. But anyway, do you have your wins? And then when you get back, or not when you get back, after the wins, do I have my other book here? Yeah, it's over there. We're going to be talking about self-sabotage. We're going to talk about self-sabotage and weight loss today. I think that'd be a good topic to discuss and talk about. Because self-sabotage is something that, like, I don't know. I think we all run into it at different times on our journey. I think it's something that affects us all. But while we're waiting for the coffee to brew, if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to ask it down below if you have any. And I will be opening the guild for some sort of sale, or I will be doing some sort of sale for something for Black Friday. So for those that are curious, I'm not sure what it is. No, not Michelle yet. No, not yet. Save it. Don't do it. We're still saving the wins. We'll do the wins here in a minute. I want to get my genuine reactions. We'll have the music going too. I've been really liking it. Have y'all been enjoying it? I've been enjoying doing the music and celebrating the wins. That's been tremendously fun for me to do that. Very, very fun. So while I'm hearing the coffee, it sounds like it's getting close to being done. So I should tell you what, let's do this. What are the challenges that some of y'all have had in the last 7 days? So what are the circumstances and situations that sort of got you? Maybe you weren't prepared or you weren't quite ready. What was it? Let's see some of the things that got you. And you're right, Michelle. It is worth saying again when I'm ready. And you know what? We will definitely still celebrate it because I'm not going to let it go to waste. Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, tell me your challenges. Tell me that obstacle you ran into last week. You know, there's so many different obstacles that we can get hit with on our journey. The thing that was the most surprising to me is actually how it was actually my family that was one of the biggest offenders in my life of sabotaging me. Like that was always a bit surprising to see that happening. Let's see. So what else we got? Hernia limitations. That's right. You're fussing with a hernia. Hernias are the pits. Hernias are the pits. Pain in the knees and feet. Yeah. These things get better, thankfully. But it is kind of brutal though, right? It is kind of brutal. Let's see what else we had. Family sabotaging is awful. And the thing I've had to realize is the family is, you have to give them some grace too, right? A lot of us, we've trained our family to expect us to stop. And that's something that we have to give our family a lot of grace in that regard. I think anyway. I'm looking for the clip we're going to discuss. Ooh, discover the hidden enemy sabotaging your weight loss. Oh, that's a 45-minute clip. We don't got time for some 45-minute clip. Not when I'm just going to go get coffee. Challenges, just me and my mind. Well, I mean, the mind can definitely be quite the saboteur. That's for sure. What else we got? Learning how I'm impatient? I'm not sure. Found it hard to say no to hang out with my adult kid to go to the gym as planned. Yeah. I get you there. My challenge is deciding what and where to spend my Thanksgiving since this will be a different year for me. Ah, yes. The first holiday after losing a loved one. Those are sometimes very... Those are hard. All right, coffee's done. Do a little podcast preview, and I'll be right back. From the headquarters of Guild of Champions, this is the Becoming Thin podcast, and I am your host, Chris Terrell, and welcome to another week of your weight loss quest. How did this last week go for you, champion? What new challenges did you encounter? But more importantly, what failure did you go through, and what lesson did you get from that failure? Come on now, don't let a perfectly good failure go by without you getting your lesson. That's your reward for your troubles, after all. Now, if you're new here, I've lost 125 pounds myself after an entire adulthood of chronic yo-yo dieting. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up again. Before I finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired and fat. And I made some permanent, meaningful, and actual changes to my real-life lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, and to my systems of belief. Because it's all of those things that created the results of my life. And if I wanted to get new results, I was going to have to go change those things. And if you want to get new results, you're going to have to go change those same 6 things. And now I'm here each week to help you make the changes like that in your life, to help them actually stick. Losing all the weight was so worth all the effort. You said it took me 26 months to do it. I had to sacrifice quite a bit to get it done. But when I got to the other side, it didn't really feel like a sacrifice. It only seemed to feel like a sacrifice along the way. But as I got more success, and I started to realize the benefits of all these changes I was making in my life, it just began to not feel like so much of a sacrifice. All those times I had to sit in a little bit of uncomfortable hunger. All those times I had to go out on another damn walk when I was just sort of over it for the day. But I did it anyway. And what happened is, as I showed up for myself again and again and again and again, my self-confidence, my trust in myself, and my personal relationship began to repair. You see, when you make promises to yourself and then you keep those promises with yourself, you improve your self-trust. You improve the relationship you have with yourself. But when you make promises to yourself and you break them, you erode your self-trust. You erode the relationship you have with yourself. Your self-respect is so hard to earn and so easy to lose when it comes to ourselves. And I'm telling you, the weight loss journey helped me restore my self-respect because I just showed up for myself again and again and again. And when I fell down and failed to show up for myself, I got back up and I showed up for myself again. And I know that you're doing the same thing in your life. You're continuing to push and show up for yourself. Keep doing it. New episodes come out every Friday. Yes, I did indeed accidentally cut off the last bullet point of this Friday's episode, but I will be uploading the last bullet point later today. I'll re-record it and upload that last bullet point. But guess what time it is, everybody? Guess what time it is. That's right. If you were about to guess, I think it is time to celebrate our wins, you would be guessing right, because that is indeed what the time is. So let's get the audio routed to the right place. Let's do a quick sound check, and let's see, are we ready for our wins? Yes, we are. We are ready for our wins. Now, if you're new here, if you haven't done it, when we get to the wins segment, what I would love to invite you to do right now is in the chat window, type in a win. Anything you've done in the last 7 days in the name of your goal. It can be anything. We don't need to get all picky about it. Doesn't have to be original. In fact, I like it when people celebrate the same win again and again and again, because we got to normalize that part of the journey. They can be scale victories, they can be non-scale victories, they can be behaviors, maybe a different choice you made that you always would have made a different one. It can be something you've noticed on the scale or a health marker improving. Any win, all wins. And if you really impress me, don't read too much into it. Sometimes I just get tired of pushing buttons. But if you get me real excited, you'll get the applause and maybe even that annoying ass air horn. So, are you ready? Are you ready? I think you are. I've been seeing them come in. I've been chatting and stalling and killing time just to give y'all a chance to type some wins in. You know what I see in here? I see some wins. I see some wins in the chat. So let's go with our first one. From Cindy. Hip replacement this last Tuesday. Getting bio upgraded. I like it. Becoming a cyborg. That's what I think when you get something like that. I think it's so cool we can do that. We can just swap out a part. Got over 3,500 steps without a walker. Excellent. Keep pushing. Liz. Did not emotionally eat or go over my calorie budget during my very difficult week. Made myself stay in the moment for my emotions, and it helped even though I hated it. That's how it's done, though. I know it's difficult. I know it's painful. But you know what that's going to make you? It's going to make you a winner, because you're going to keep going in the opposite direction. You're choosing a new path when faced with the old problems again and again. Darren found out my clothes I put in storage to someday fit into. They don't even fit now. They're too loose. Oh, I love that. Oh, isn't that, I love it. I love it. This is great. You set them aside and without even realizing it, you just plowed right past it, just straight up missed it. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I didn't even get to enjoy them. That happened to me too. I had a few pants. I was like, I'm going to wear these. And I just blitzed right past them. Lisa lost 2 pounds last week. Lost 2 pounds. Stayed on target. Only when eating when hungry. Good job, Lisa. Good job, Lisa. Hold on. I got to move my buttons over here somewhere a little closer. 1 second. I'm going to rearrange a little bit. There we go. Now we're rearranged. All right. Congrats on the 2 pounds lost. Congrats on that. All right. Moving on. We're bringing in the funky bass. Joseph bringing it up next. Win. I meal prep chicken taco chili for work to reduce friction and ensure a high protein fiber meal. One of those wins that I've been doing for a while. I like that though. I like that kind of win a lot. I've been working on some new recipes myself. Some people have been asking for some food related content, which I hate doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I think I just found a new beef crock pot thing. I'm excited. Yeah, it works. We're reducing friction, not restriction. Dale, water aerobics twice a week for 3 weeks now. Adding in 2 walks a week this week. Long way to go, but I'm starting. It's never too soon to get started. Never too soon to get started. So, let's see. Do I have a great job one? Oh, I need to get some more of these overlays. I'm going to look for some of those. Jane got my whiny self bundled up and outside to walk in the cold and enjoyed how beautiful and invigorating it was. I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of you too for getting out there and braving that cold. W softly won, sticking with 1 hour workouts at 65 years old. That's right. You ain't old. 65 years young, maybe. Ashley made the difficult decision to put the scale away for now and focus on my healthy habits. All right. It's a big, bold move. How's it going to go? We're going to find out. Letters of Love Design. Even though this is the crazy busy season for my handmade business, I got 5 out of 7 days walking in. 5 out of 7 days. Love it. Really focusing on self-care this holiday season this year rather than pushing through in exhaustion. I like it when you choose to focus on your self-care in a season like this. Because often, so many times in a season like this, our self-care gets put on the back burner or on the chopping block. Good job. Belinda took a week off from tracking calories and still lost half a pound. What? You're breaking all the rules. You can only lose weight if you track every calorie. It's almost as if they're not connected. It's all about your behaviors. Jane, I'm a size medium. Size medium. Amazing. Started the guild as a 3 extra large. Oh, it's been so fun watching your journey unfold, Jane, in the guild. That's why I love the guild. I get to watch people's journey unfold over time. So great. Tiffany was able to plan and eat only a couple of bites of some trigger foods, and it didn't lead to a binge overeat. Nice. Let's see. All right, we'll go with this song. This is the next one that's left. We still got some wins coming. Keep bringing those wins in the comments. I want to see them. Was able to plan and eat a couple bites, some trigger foods, and it didn't lead to a binge overeat. Great job, Tiffany. Tools of Talk, Jessica Coulthard. I'm sure I botched that. I moved my furniture around and made room to start sitting on the floor more to get better at getting up, working on mobility. This one is pure gold. I love this one so much. Being able to sit on the ground is still one of my absolute favorite things I can do since losing weight. Sitting on the ground is not a big deal. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Fat Lighter Fitness worked out 3 days this week and also got some new insight into my feelings and emotions regarding weight loss. I like it when we start tapping into that deeper inner work. That's an important part. I promise, if you're big, there's something else in there. Something else is going on, and we got to get connected with ourselves. Michelle, maintenance 3 months. 3 months. That is amazing. Great job, Michelle. I'm working on a montage video for the Atlanta stuff coming up, Michelle. You got a good cut in it. I'm very excited for you to see it. A transformation thing. Tamara, I've been struggling with the same 2 pounds since the end of August. Finally broke through and saw a new low. Down 2 pounds. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, we got about a minute left. Let's see what we can get through. It's time for the rapid fire. Let's see, where am I at? Where did I leave off? Right here, top cap stubs. Up my exercise 3 times a week for the first time. Feeling proud of myself. Great job. Tiffany went on a difficult trail hike with my kids, and it was surprisingly easy. Guess it wasn't so difficult after all. I know I would have struggled or not even have gone before losing weight. That's a why. That's a why that you realized along the way for losing weight. Wonderful. Cooking with Rima. After plateauing for 3 months, the numbers are going down again. Didn't give in, stayed strong, kept going, doing what I was doing. Great job. I don't know why I did thank you. I don't know why I did that. I meant to do winner. That's the actions of a winner right there. A winner doesn't give up when it gets hard. They just hold the line. Julie walked for exercise the past 3 days after being sick. Great job, Julie. John, 11,000 steps per day last week. Did not want to get on the treadmill yesterday. 10 a.m. came in and talked myself into it. Talked myself into it. There it is. That's the genius move right there, is talking yourself into it. Kept saying, I'm not done. One more day. Wonderful. Been doing the right habits without tracking. My habits with a habit journal. Oh, upping it, going beyond the journal and just doing it. Noel, yeah. Got 7+ hours of sleep this week. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good job, everybody. Thanks for sharing your wins with me. Thanks for celebrating with me. Thanks for coming back. I've been really enjoying this each week, so I hope you come back each week to share your wins. I think I might do a different segment for weight loss specific wins. Because maintenance, we got maintenance wins that we need to celebrate. Like Michelle. Michelle's over here celebrating, where is it? 13 months of maintenance. I mean, it's just so great when we do that. And I'm gonna actually, you know what? Here, let me show you one of my proudest before and after photos of me. Hold on. Right now I'm currently between 2 laptops. I got a new laptop and I got this laptop, and I'm like in the process of transferring everything over, and it's just it's such a thing. All right, let me see if I can find this one of my favorite before and after photos. I know I have it on my phone. I'm pretty sure I put it here on my computer. And you know what? Let me send it here to you from my phone, because I know I got it here. But you see, when you're doing by the way, before and after photos all along the way, progress pictures are something you 100% should be doing. Like, definitely be doing those. They are so rewarding to be able to do. All right, let's see. I got a couple versions of this one. Let me see which is the one I want to do. Yeah, we'll just do this one. All right, let me airdrop this here. So this photo is one of my. I need to make a new one. I haven't made an updated one in a while. But this right here, well, you don't got to be so big. So the picture on the left was me right about when I crossed goal weight, when I hit my goal weight. And the picture on the right was this time last year. So it was years, and my before and after was I still looked the same. I mean, I'm definitely different. I can see it. If I take my shirt off in the two, I could see it. And here I am a year later. I mean, here, let's make this bigger. Still me. Still this size. Maintenance is such a big victory because, I mean, for me, I'd always lost it and gained it back. I lost it and gained it back. So I'm thinking I definitely want to do some celebrations for that. But I also want to celebrate, like, somebody in the guild just posted they hit Tutopia. Actually, who was that did that? Let me see who that was again. I was looking at that last night. Our Tutopia land joiner was... Oh, wow. We had a bunch of posts yesterday. Sweet. Greg. That's right. Greg hit Tutopia. Yeah. $2.99. And it's just, it's so fun celebrating these things with everybody. So fun. We're going to talk about self-sabotage for a second. Actually, you know what I want to do? Hold on. I want to play a YouTube clip. I have not done this in a while, so you have to give me a second. I got to figure out how to route the dang thing through the stream to play a YouTube live. I want to play a clip from the author of this book. It's 4 minutes. I know I could just do the audio, but I want to try to get the video. So bear with me 1 second. Thank you for going on this temporary journey that we're about to go on to while I figure out how to do this. So see, first I need to do screen share. Okay, so that works there like that. Now if I move me down, and I need to have the screen share show the audio.
Your finger hovers over the send button on the angry text you just wrote.
Okay, can somebody in the chat tell me and confirm, could you hear that audio of what I was just playing? So could somebody confirm that you could hear that audio? If so, I'll hit play and then we'll let that keep going. But while I'm waiting for somebody to confirm that, so this video clip is from Howard Farkas, who is the author of the 8 Keys to End Emotional Eating. He unfortunately passed away. So all I have is a few recordings of his. And I don't know. I wish I could have met him. I would have liked to have met that man. I would have gone to great lengths to try to meet him when I was doing that. And then when I found out he had passed. Okay, so the audio came through. It was quiet. All right. I can boost it some. I can boost the volume some. All right, let's go ahead and play this clip. We'll play it, then we'll watch it back, and we'll talk about it together.
Your finger hovers over the send button on the angry text you just wrote. You tell yourself, no, don't do it. But it'll make me feel better. Take a deep breath. Go for a walk. But I just need to get this off my chest. Don't do it. Don't. Ooh, I can't believe you just did that. That's what I call a pre-gret. It's regretting something before you've done it, knowing that you're going to do it anyway. When you act on the pre-gret, it's called self-sabotage. Like procrastinating before a deadline or staying out late before an important presentation. Spending money you don't have on things you don't need. We've all done it, and we wonder why. There's lots of reasons given for self-sabotage. It's a fear of success. It's a fear of failure. It's a lack of self-control. It's a need to be in control. These sound contradictory, but the underlying message is consistent. There's something wrong with you. But now let's think about it, okay? What does it mean to sabotage yourself? And when you do something against your better judgment, who is it that has your better judgment? It makes no sense that people knowingly do things that they don't want to do, and then they go to a therapist like me to help them stop. But what if we stop thinking about self-sabotage as some kind of personality defect or character flaw, and instead, we think of it for what it clearly is. It's a dysfunctional relationship. That's right. There's really no better way to understand it. You see, the idea of self-sabotage only seems strange if it involves just one person. But if it's a relationship, well, that changes everything. Because then we're talking about one person with two sides that are in conflict with each other. That's the relationship problem, and that's a problem that we can solve. Here, imagine a teenager sitting in his room, playing video games. He stops what he's doing, looks around the room, and he says, "This place is a mess. I really ought to clean it up." Just then, his mother pokes her head in the doorway and says, "You know, this place is a real mess. You ought to clean it up." Now, how does he respond? Well, of course, one side of him has already decided what he wants to do. He wants to clean his room. But now the other side feels that resisting his mother's control is more important. And he says, "Don't tell me what to do with my own room." That's what goes on with this internal relationship. So, who are these two sides? What are they fighting about? And what gets in the way of ending the conflict? Once you answer these questions, then you can bring the two sides together to end the dysfunctional relationship and stop the self-sabotage.
All right. I love that video so much. Love that video so much. Hopefully the audio came through clearly on that. I want to jump into this book and then we'll sort of unpack some of what he was saying here. So this is on page 113 or 112 and 113. It's one of my favorite sections of the book. I reference it a lot when I'm working with people on emotional eating. So, yeah, I'll post a link to that video in Circle today. Actually, I'll do that right now. For anybody that wants it. I'm going into Circle. This was from. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all see what I'm doing because I can. This week's live stream on YouTube. I showed everyone the following clip. So if you would like to get it, there we go. Publish. There you go. It's in there waiting for you, Jane. We can go get it, and then you can favorite it too. Wait, I got to put a space. You can bookmark it if you want, Janie, then it'll be there. Always you can find it in your bookmarks. So for anybody that's in Circle that may not know, you can do that. If you look for this little bookmark icon, you can bookmark any post, comment, lesson. You can bookmark anything. But let's jump here into the book. Let's jump here into the book for this section I want to read. Helps have it the right direction. This is under the section called Negotiating with Yourself. One of the most helpful books I've read in my development as a therapist wasn't assigned as part of my clinical training. In fact, it wasn't even intended as a guide for therapists. It was a business book called Getting to Yes, Negotiating Agreement Without Giving In. The authors explain that in trying to resolve any disagreement, the most effective thing you can do is find out what the other side wants. That means you must listen to, understand, and acknowledge the other person's point of view with curiosity, without judgment. That can be more difficult than it sounds. The last thing that adversaries usually do is try to understand each other's arguments. Typically, their main goal is to make sure that their own argument gets heard. Really listening and trying to understand the position of someone who disagrees can feel like admitting defeat, as if you're giving credence to a position that you're trying to discredit while letting the other side just roll right over you. The reality, though, is that you didn't actually yield an inch by listening to and understanding the other side's point of view from their perspective. So I'm not going to keep reading the rest of it, but I would encourage you to read this whole section. This is said starting on page 112. But I'm going to go to page 115, second paragraph. Think of what conflict might be going on when you wrestle with the urge to emotionally eat. To be able to overcome emotional eating, you must first understand how it's working for you. In this case, so let's get into this. You have to understand how it's working for you. So I haven't hooked up the iPad here in a little bit, so sometimes this gives me grief. Let's see if it's going to give me grief. Well, it appears today is one of those days. Come on. It says it recognizes it. It says it sees it. Ah, huzzah! We have an iPad. Okay. So we have our person here. So we have the one side of us, the old ways. And then on the left, we have the new ways that we're trying to do things. And so we find ourselves in a situation and we end up emotional eating. And what tends to happen when I sit down to work with somebody and now they're telling me, and they're telling me from the position of here. So they're operating from this headspace, the headspace of the new way. And the person fails to recognize that they are one. And what they then tend to do will talk as if there are two versions of themselves. And so I'll be meeting in my coaching session with this person, the person trying to do it the new way, and they're over here talking about how this other side of them is doing all these things that they don't want to do, mentioning it as if this person is sabotaging this person. But really, just really sit with that for a minute. You're not two people. You are one. There's only one of you. And so this whole idea that there's this person and this person as two separate entities is an illusion. It's not real. The truth is, you are one. The truth is, a part of you wants to do it the new way, and a part of you wants to do it the old way. But within our mind, we tend to kind of fracture it. And what this side does over here, this side talks shit about and looks down upon and judges that side. And this side feels that this side is being super restrictive. What ends up happening is the two sides of us are engaging in conflict or engaging in battle. They want two different things. But what's not happening is the person, the higher self, the you, isn't looking at both and going, what do both sides want? I think both sides are actually interested in your well-being. I think both sides are actually interested in you being safe, in you being secure, in you being happy, in you being comfortable. I think both sides actually want this, except sometimes there's some disagreement. Sometimes this side wants it now, and this side wants it later. It wants to feel good later. It's going to delay gratification, but the other way wants to feel good right now. But the challenge is, when I'm working with somebody, is they're talking to me operating out of this headspace, the new way headspace, and they're being very judgmental. A person does not open up if they're going to feel ridiculed or judged for doing so. A person is not going to open up if they feel that they will be ridiculed and judged for opening up. You know this. You know this. If you have kids, you know if you make them feel too bad, they won't open up to you. Many of y'all have experienced yourself. If somebody makes you feel bad, you won't open up. That means to get this side of you to open up, you've got to look to that side of you free of judgment, free of ridicule. You can't be like, man, I overate last night. That means I'm so lazy. That means I don't have any commitment. That means I don't care. Like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Chances are there was something else. Why? What are the real reasons? Why did you want to get the food? Remember, this person is choosing to turn to food, but it's not choosing the food for the sake of the food. The person chooses the food because the food is meant to lead to a feeling. Now, some people will say, well, no, Chris, I'm not eating food to choose a feeling. Sometimes I'm not feeling sad. I don't want to change my mood. No, that's not true. Sometimes a person is feeling happy. And what they want to do is they want to continue to feel happy. Or sometimes they want to dial it up. They want to enhance the happiness. Sometimes a person is choosing food. Yes, they're choosing it to avoid a feeling. They're choosing it to get a feeling, but what they're actually doing is they're doing it to avoid a feeling. And so sometimes if we were to go look to ourselves that wants to do it the old way and say, hey, why are you doing this? Well, I don't want to feel this way. Well, what is that feeling you're trying to avoid? And many of us don't know the feelings that we're trying to avoid. We don't ever sit with them. We don't ever work through them. And this is really important to increase our feeling-based vocabulary. And one of the best tools I have found to help with this is something called the feelings wheel. You can just go to feelingswheel.com. They've just recently done an upgrade, which is nice because now you can rotate the dang thing. It was hard to read it when you couldn't rotate it around. But now you can come here and go, what feelings am I trying to avoid? You can come to the feelings wheel and look. So maybe you're feeling angry. And looking here on the right, maybe I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling inferior, remorseful, ashamed, victimized, and in despair. And I'm also looking here on the fear side, I'm feeling inadequate, worried, and overwhelmed. Well, that sounds like an unpleasant experience to be feeling all that. And so a person chooses a food because they hope that the food will lead to a new feeling. But this doesn't work if we don't negotiate and listen to the other side of us. We have to listen to what that other side is truly wanting. That other side has a fully fully thought out reason. But sometimes that other side, we've been choosing it for so long, we forgot what the reason is. So one of the ways I think of when we're trying to work through emotional eating, what makes it so difficult is, so we have our person and we're going down the path and we hit a triggering event. We encounter a triggering event. And so now what we want to do, what we're tempted to do in our mind, is to go to the old way, to food, TV, shows, scrolling, right? Essentially, we could summarize, we come down here to sit, to oversit, and to overeat. And we find activities that we enjoy doing that, often so that we can numb or distract from whatever it is that we're feeling. But the challenge with this path is this creates additional problems. When you engage in this coping strategy too much, it creates new problems. For example, it creates obesity. It creates health issues. It creates joint problems. Oh, but it goes on more. It goes into lost wages. Some of you, I hate to say this, look, you're not going to like this, but the reality is you've not made as much money as you could because of your looks. Is that fair? No. Is that how it works? Yes. Can you be mad about it? Yes, but that doesn't change it. It's really important to understand. So this creates another problem. This also creates low self-esteem for many people. Being obese for a long time for a lot of people creates a lot of low self-esteem. So engaging in this doesn't just help numb out the problem. It creates all these other problems that now need to be dealt with. And that's the challenge of indulging. Oh my God, I move all this. That's the challenge in indulging in this too many times. Is because, yeah, you numbed out, but also remember this triggering event. Often when we're doing these over here, this goes unfixed, unresolved. So let's say the trigger event is your job. You hate your job. It stresses you out and you come home and you need to cope. And so when you have this trigger, this is the hard part of weight loss, is you get here to this triggering place and you have to get yourself to choose a new path. But the real problem is within the mind, mentally, literally from a neurological standpoint, your brain wants to pick this path because every time this path happens, your brain does it. And so this path is well lit, easy to travel, all the feelings you know, these feelings are anticipated. The feelings of dealing with these additional problems, these are all known. And there's a saying from C.S. Lewis that perfectly encapsulates why people struggle with losing weight. We'll often choose a familiar captivity over an unfamiliar freedom. We'll often choose a familiar captivity over an unfamiliar freedom. And so in here, this is a sense of captivity. We're stuck with the pattern. I can't get myself to stop choosing this pattern, but it's familiar. Self-sabotage is often a simple matter of when you're faced with a decision, do I go this way or this way? What do? We choose the familiar way. We choose the familiar path. Why? Because in our mind, familiar equals safe. And what is it our mind is looking for? It wants to look out for our well-being. It wants to make us feel safe and secure and comfortable and happy. Familiar misery will provide this. Familiar misery will provide a sense of safety. It will also keep you stuck. Because when you want to choose the new way, so let's say your brain wants to go the new way. Well, the problem is everything over here is a bunch of question marks. You haven't done it before. That's why I like the song "And the Star is Born." Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. But it talks about in that line, takes a lot to change a man. Hell, it takes a lot to try. It takes a lot to change because you have to get to this trigger right here. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled, and that has made all the difference. That is what this is talking about. You're faced with a choice when you always choose to eat. And when you get here and you choose to eat, you didn't self-sabotage. You didn't self-sabotage. You failed to effectively self-communicate. You failed to listen to what you're actually looking for. Your mind would have been willing to do this. But sometimes you have to talk yourself into it. There was a comment said earlier that I really liked here. It's this one from John. He said he took 11,000 steps per day last week. Did not want to get on the treadmill. 10 a.m. came and I talked myself into it. Right here was your triggering moment. You could have taken the path you always chose, or you could take the new path. Two roads diverged in a wood, and you took the one less traveled. By talking. You could say, it would be fair to say, John, you negotiated yourself into it. The reality is when you get to this fork in the road, everybody, it is now time to enter into negotiation. You have two paths. Which will you pick? Which will you pick? And that's what makes this tricky. Now, let's go back and rewatch this clip from Howard Farkas now that I've just sort of unpacked a couple more things. Let's rewatch this clip, but really think about this right here, what we're talking about. Two paths, two different sides, everybody looking for a different thing. It's a failure of negotiation. All right, let's bring this back here.
Your finger hovers over the send button on the angry text you just wrote. You tell yourself, no, don't do it. But it'll make me feel better. Take a deep breath. Go for a walk. But I just need to get this off my chest. Don't do it. Don't. Ooh, I can't believe you just did that. That's what I call a pre-gret. It's regretting something before you've done it, knowing that you're going to do it anyway. When you act on the pre-gret, it's called self-sabotage. Like procrastinating before a deadline or staying out late before an important presentation. Spending money you don't have on things you don't need. We've all done it, and we wonder why. There's lots of reasons given for self-sabotage. It's a fear of success. It's a fear of failure. It's a lack of self-control. It's a need to be in control. These sound contradictory, but the underlying message is consistent. There's something wrong with you. But now let's think about it, okay? What does it mean to sabotage yourself? And when you do something against your better judgment, who is it that has your better judgment? It makes no sense that people knowingly do things that they don't want to do, and then they go to a therapist like me to help them stop. But what if we stop thinking about self-sabotage as some kind of personality defect or character flaw, and instead we think of it for what it clearly is? It's a dysfunctional relationship. That's right. There's really no better way to understand it. You see, the idea of self-sabotage only seems strange if it involves just one person. But if it's a relationship, well, that changes everything. Because then we're talking about one person with two sides that are in conflict with each other. That's the relationship problem, and that's a problem that we can solve. Here, imagine a teenager sitting in his room, playing video games. He stops what he's doing, looks around the room, and he says, "This place is a mess. I really ought to clean it up." Just then, his mother pokes her head in the doorway and says, "You know, this place is a real mess. You ought to clean it up." Now, how does he respond? Well, of course, one side of him has already decided what he wants to do. He wants to clean his room. But now the other side feels that resisting his mother's control is more important. And he says, "Don't tell me what to do with my own room." That's what goes on with this internal relationship. So, who are these two sides? What are they fighting about? And what gets in the way of ending the conflict? Once you answer these questions, then you can bring the two sides together to end the dysfunctional relationship and stop the self-sabotage.
All right, so as he said here, we've got a dysfunctional relationship within ourselves with ourselves, but I wanted to play one part again and talk about it right here.
We've all done it, and we wonder why. There's lots of reasons given for self-sabotage. It's a fear of success. It's a fear of failure. It's a lack of self-control. It's a need to be in control. These sound contradictory, but the underlying message is consistent.
So what he's mentioning there now, he doesn't go in depth about it, but he mentions fear of success, fear of failure. But listen to what else he says. He says something else that's very important. So listen up. Actually, I'll just play it.
It's a lack of self-control.
Lack of self-control.
It's a need to be in control.
Need to be in control.
These sound contradictory.
Okay, so he mentions here there's success and failure, and then we also have a lack of self-control, but we also have a need to be in control. So much of this seems contradictory, just as he says. But emotional eating is tied to all of these. Fear and a need now you might be tempted to say a need to be in control, but that's not it. It's a need to feel in control of my life. Many of us carry within us a deep, deep need to feel a sense of control over our own lives, whether the control is real or illusory. The control does not need to be real. We just need to feel like we're in control. So if we feel like we are out of control in our life, our mind seeks to restore this. And one of the ways that it will do it is by returning to the old ways. When the world is getting uncertain around us, we look for something that will provide a sense of certainty. And sometimes in our mind, this, oversitting and overeating to numb and distract, this provides a mental and emotional sense of certainty. I know what I'm going to feel now, and I know what I'm going to feel later, and I know what problems are going to be created, and I know how I will emotionally navigate it. Because we tell ourselves something along the lines of, it's okay, I'll lose weight. It's okay that I'm creating these additional problems because I'll fix it later. It's more important that I feel comfortable, safe, and secure right now. It's more important that I feel in control right now. Yes, I'm going to create other problems, but that doesn't matter. This is what is happening in the mind. Is this easy to navigate? Well, no, it's not. It's not at all. Not at all. There's something that's important to remember when we're making these changes. Hold on. I got to pull up the notes here. You see, when you're making changes in your life, there's actually 5 stages of change and transformation as psychology describes it. Now, here's the way I look at things. I like to find truth in multiple different places, stated in multiple different ways. That's how I'm looking for things. And so I'm looking for, all right, what is, I like to find something that can be said in science, theology, and sometimes spirituality, depending on what it is. When it comes to mental health, I think it's helpful to find something in all 3. Information does not, we don't have present awareness of things in all 3 of them, but many times we do. And in transformation and change, religion, spirituality, theology, and science all have plenty to say about it. And I like the scientific model that talks about it. It tickles the logical, intellectual part of my brain, but it's called the trans-theoretical model of change, TTMC, because I don't feel like writing the whole thing out. So the first step of the trans-theoretical model of change is something called pre-contemplation. This is a person who is not even considering making a change in the foreseeable future. In fact, a person in this stage isn't even usually aware that there's a problem that needs their attention. All right, this is a natural part of it. A natural part of change is to not even be aware of the need to change. Then there's part two, which is a person moves into the contemplation stage of change. This is important because in the contemplation state of change, this is where awareness to the problem is increased. A person is starting to begin to realize that there's a problem. They're starting to see that, oh, there's pros and cons. A person's beginning to see that, oh, wait a minute. I've been creating all these additional problems. Oh, wait a minute. I've been emotionally eating and numbing and distraction. Oh, wait a minute. I keep saying I'm going to lose weight later and I'm not doing it. Oh, wait a minute. I keep not choosing the new path, right? The person has entered the contemplation phase. This is a normal phase. But here's the thing. When a person's in the contemplation phase, nothing has changed. That's the important part to remember. Nothing has changed. Everything is still the same. Hold on. Let me move these around. All right. Everything is still the same with the person. Then we move to stage 3, which is preparation. So now a person is intending to take action soon and might even be taking small actions in the name of a new direction. They're dabbling. Right? Nothing real is going to happen from these dabbles. But a person's just testing the waters, or maybe if you're on weight loss, you're curating your algorithm to show them some things, or listening to some podcasts. They've downloaded MyFitnessPal. They haven't set it up, but they downloaded, they've looked at it. They've looked up where their nearest gym is. They've thought about maybe they looked up found their charger for their watch, so maybe they can start wearing it. But they're preparing. They haven't made any real meaningful deep changes yet. But if the person continues on to the next phase, they then move into the action phase. Now a person is making specific changes to their behavior. That's the important part. Here we are getting to behavioral changes, not just thought changes. You see, all up here is mostly the thought realm. All right? Thought, feelings, intentions. That's what's happening up here. Now we're beginning to move into action, making things occur. But you see, we had to go through these phases first. Many people want to skip from here right to there, but they fail to see the importance of the preparation and the contemplation phase of allowing the mind to come to terms with the fact it's going to have to let go of something, because letting go is a big part of this. So this leads to the 5th step, which is maintenance. A person is changing and they've actually had some consistency. You see, in the action phase, there's still a lot of dabbling, beating your head against the wall, trying new things. Maintenance comes after a period of sustained change. They finally figured out a formula to get some sustained change. We're talking like 6 months. That's a good rule of thumb, right? Somewhere in the 6-month range of consistency. And this is a normal and natural part. But there's another part of this that people sometimes struggle with. And that's number 6. Relapse. Where a person goes back to the old ways and they have to get up and keep going. And then they go back to the old ways and have to get up and keep going. This is a natural part of transformation and change. A natural part of transformation and change. And so when you're beginning to work on emotional eating and you're doing this, the unfortunate part of this journey is, as much as you want yourself to take the new way, you will sometimes still choose the old way. But the beauty is you're going to get to try again. And then you're going to get to try again. Because what I've seen and what I've discovered is when you're going through life and then life gives you a choice, you know what's on the other side of that choice? Another choice. And you know what's on the other side of that choice? Another choice. And you know what's on the other side of that choice? Another choice. You know what's on the side of that choice? Another choice. You know what's on the side of that choice? Another choice. And what you can start doing is start choosing your way towards the direction you want. And so as you can see here, yeah, this person failed in the beginning and went the wrong way, but then look, they started trending it down, even when they went the wrong way. It's all part of the process. But if you don't have conversations with yourself, judgment-free, free of guilt, free of shame, free of ridicule, and say, self, why did you do that? Why did you eat that food last night? That creates more problems for us. Like, help me understand, self. What was in our mind? Help me understand. What was I trying to feel? What was I trying to not feel? When you get into the feelings conversation, this all becomes a lot easier to understand self-sabotage. But if you steer clear of the feelings conversation, well, it becomes really difficult. Well, I hope you found this interesting. I could talk about this topic for a while. I find it fascinating, the mindset of change. I find that people, they want to be changed, but they don't want to go through the process of change. Seems to be a normal human thing. But hey, if you've enjoyed this and you want to get more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And to those of you that are brand new to here and you don't know, and you're wondering about the guild, I'm going to show you something right here. So this, and those of you that are in the guild, you're about to see a little sneak peek. So of what'll be coming live this week. I'm just about done. So this is the course library you get when you join the guild. I want to show you this one. I'm going to show you two of them. So this one's the hot seat coaching. And I want to point out right here, 45 hours of Q&A, all searchable. 45 hours of searchable Q&A. And then come down here to the guild library. 213 hours. And none of it exists outside of the guild, just about. I think maybe only about 10 hours of this exists about outside the guild. So many people, they come in, they're thinking like, okay, why would I want to, if I'm getting all this stuff from the free stuff, why would I want to look at and consider the guild? It's because you get a lot more, like a whole lot more. And the stuff's a lot longer. I also have another one in here. If you like the mindset work, if you're big on the mindset work, well, I have my two big mindset ones, the Guild Success Framework, which this one is 40 hours of mindset work. Oh, but that's not it. Then I have NeuroShift, which is my intermediate and advanced program. That'll be wrapping up here this year and it's going to have over 50 hours. So I'm going to have 100 hours of deep mindset work available to you. And it's all just part of your guild membership. You don't got to pay any additional. It's all there ready for you. On top of everything else that's in there. We have so much more that goes on in there. So if you're interested and curious about the guild, just stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe. Listen to the podcast. I'll be sure to announce it there. You can also go to becomingthin.com and either download my guide or register for the newsletter. That'll give me your email, and I'll let you know whenever the guild doors are gonna open. I'm either gonna do the guild or I'm gonna do something special. I have a program I've been thinking about doing. I'm tempted to do it for Black Friday instead of opening the doors of the guild. So I haven't decided yet. I can't do both is the problem. So anyway, thanks for coming here to the live stream. Thanks for sharing your wins earlier. Tell a friend about it and be sure to come back each week, even if you just come to the beginning part to celebrate your wins. I love celebrating those with you. And if you want to get more like this, please be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified every time I go live. And I will see you next time on our Monday morning motivation, Becoming Thin. Talk soon. Bye. Ooh, you know what? Let's play some music to send us out. Talk soon.